will go over the steps that allow you to connect to Visual Studio Code on ECF computers, and through this video we'll know how we should run the exercise commands to help test our program against public test cases when submitting the labs, and after that how do we submit our programs as well. First step here is to launch Visual Studio Code. Once it's open, we are going to see what we have done in the first video. And the first thing that we need to do is that we need to install a particular extension that will help us remotely connect to ECF computers, and this is called Remote-SSH. We will install it. Once it's installed here, we can see that there is an icon that is developed here that allows us to directly connect to ECF computers. Since I've already done that before, I can see that I can added a host before. Probably you'll not see this as you install SSH. But anyways, to do so, you can click on Manage and then open the command palette. There we're going to write Remote-SSH : add new SSH host. The host here is the ECF servers that we want to add, and here we will have to add, or we'll have to write the SSH command that we wrote in the second video here. In this case, it is as follows: SSH mrsl at remote.ecf.utoronto.ca. We'll click enter after that, and we'll select the first file that we see here. It should show to you that the host has been added successfully. Once this is done, we will be going to this icon right here. You should see remote ecf.utoronto, and you can click here to connect in the current window, or you can connect here to create a new window. In my case, we can connect using a new window. This should open a new window for you. Which of these options you should select? You should select the operating system not of your computer, which is Windows. It should connect to ECF, and the ECF computers run on Linux, so I will be selecting Linux in this case. I will write my password. It will be taking a few seconds to open up. Now we are connected to ECF computers. How do I ensure that this has happened? I can see here that on the left hand side, SSH remote is showing, which shows that we're not running as we were running from before locally here. Instead, this window is running on a remote server. The other thing that we can start doing is that we can start opening a folder to start working on our C++ programs. When I start saying open folder here, I'll see the directory which I usually log in when I log into ECF, which is my home directory. I can also see the directories that we have probably seen before in the second video. We have created ECE244 in the previous time. I'll be selecting that to start working on our ECE244 labs. It can ask you again about your password, and you can enter it. Okay, once this is over, I can see here the directory that we've created, which is lab 1. If you want to create another directory for a lab, that is okay. For the time being, I'll use the lab 1 directory, and I will work on creating a file where I'll write some C code. Sorry, I'm writing C++ code. Once we're done here, probably since this is your first time connecting to ECF computers, you will have to ensure that you have C, and C++ runner installed. In my case, they are installed and I just need to update them. But in your case, under SSH Remote ECF, you'll probably need to look for the extensions and ensure that they are already installed. Okay, once I verified that they are already installed, I can go ahead and compile my program and make sure that it is compiling. I can run my program and ensure that it is running. Okay, the process for testing our program against public test cases that are given to you is what I want to discuss next. So here I can press on enter to go to the terminal window. I can select the terminal window from here. Now I'm in the terminal window. Okay, and I'm there in ECE 244, which is not under lab 1. I want to go to the directory that has my CPP file. So I will, using the commands that we learned in the second video, I will cd into lab 1 to ensure that I'm in this directory, and I will list the files that I have in this directory to ensure that I have the CPP file, and I can see that it is there. The command that you need to run to test against some public test cases is starts with a tilde, ECE244i, public, and then exercise. This is the first common part of the command. Then you have to select that you're running for lab 1, and you have to say what is the executable file that the exercise command should be running. Currently, we did not compile our program using GCC command. We don't have an executable here. So instead, I will click on Control-C to stop executing this line. Instead, the first thing is to compile the lab1.cpp file, and I will write the executable file into a file named lab1. So this will compile lab1.cpp file, and the output, it will write it into lab1. If you want to run the executable file to make sure that it's running, you could just type in /lab1. This will run the executable file. If you want to make sure that it has been produced first, we can type in ls. I can see that it's executable. The executable is here. It's named lab1. I can run it like this. This will show me the output of the file, which is hello world. Amazing. Now I can go back and start running the command that will help us run the test cases. And here I need to write lab1. This is the executable that I need to run the test cases against. I'll press on enter, and it will show me immediately an error, because you will realize if you read lab1 documentation that the executable name has to be either hello, convert, or harmonic, because there are 3 labs. In the first part, it is expected to see hello and just hello. So we named the executable. Instead of naming it as hello, we named it as lab1. We can, of course, compile the program again. And name it as hello instead. So right now I can see that the executable hello is being produced, and I can run the command for exercises again. Instead of saying lab1, I'll just say hello. It shows here that we ran the test cases, and if you read it correctly, it says that the output did not match the solution, and the main reason for this is that the program produced this output, and instead it's trying to compare here that the actual output was this, while the expected output had basically a comma in this case. So to fix this, I will go and add a comma, and of course I need to compile again, produce the correct executable, run the exercise command, and I can see that the test cases for this part of the lab has been passed. Okay, the step for submitting the lab will require that you also run the same command, but instead of exercise, it's going to be submit, and you will be submitting lab1. It expects that in this directory you have all the files that is outlined in the lab. So I will not submit right now because I don't have all the files that is expected, but I could show you what would happen if I don't have the files that are expected. In this case, I don't have the files that are expected, and it says here that it did not see hello.cpp, it did not see convert, it did not see harmonic, and hence there's nothing to submit and there's nothing to do. If I could go ahead and rename lab1.cpp to hello to see what's going to happen. I'm going up, and again, it did not see the expected files, and hence it's not submitting the lab. Therefore, I expect that you follow the lab instructions and make sure that when you're running this command, you have all the necessary files as it says. This concludes this video.